Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the hangar. We got some more going on today, and I would really love to know who turned the heat off out here. It's starting to get a little chilly out, but let me show you what we got going on. So I had a free afternoon, so I came out to the hangar so I could do a little bit more work here on Old Timer, and I jumped on it so I could move it to a little bit more of a convenient spot for me, so I had a little bit more space around it to work on. And it started and ran for about 5 seconds and then died. Okay, which was weird because I just got this dang thing running. I'm still struggling to get the carburetor tuned up on this thing. I found out that it's got a couple of air leaks, and the Zenith series of carburetors from Bendix apparently do not like any sort of air leak, and they're very hard to deal with once they get an air leak. So I'm probably gonna have to pull the carburetor off entirely and completely rebuild it and reseal it. And then that's the least of this thing's problems. What I found out earlier down here is the front crankshaft seal has got a nasty oil leak, so that is definitely got to get addressed at some point, because we definitely don't want this thing to run out of oil while we're driving it. Once we get that sorted out and then get the carburetor fixed up, this thing should run pretty darn good. Alright, so earlier in the week, a couple of the other guys were able to come out, especially our egress guy, and was able to get the rails out of the Wizzo's cockpit. So let me move over there and I'll show you guys what's going on. So try not to disturb anything. So there is the rails out of the back seat. You can see the face curtain handles right there for that you would pull for an ejection. And see what we got going on in here. So there's the actual rails and what's underneath an ejection seat in an F-4. All right, now something else we're preparing to do is we got the jack underneath the left main landing gear, so we can lift it up and start servicing both the tire and the brake pack that's on it. Here, I'll show you the brake pack. So all these brake discs and rotors need to come out of there so we can service that, grease the spindle, service the tire, and take care of a lot of the other stuff here on the gear. And we'll likely do that to the other side as well here after we do this one. Alright, so this is what is inside the main gear assembly, and this is where the brake stack goes, which looks like that. So that's out. Now we can start servicing some stuff inside the wheel, and then we'll eventually get the jack underneath it and lift it up and pull the tire. Fun stuff. So one of my taskings today is one of the primary nozzles here on the left-hand engine. These all interconnect, like you can see here and on the rest of them. This guy right here got disconnected, so my job right now is to get it hooked back into its neighbor there. So let me go ahead and get that done. All right, got her back in place. Looking pretty good.
Okay. Use your right hand, on the pin. You can go ahead and put your left hand down here just to support the hose. Okay. And go ahead and pull the pin out. You may have to wiggle it a little bit. There you go. And okay, now let the hose come down, and that cover will spring load close. Go ahead and pull. You can give the hose a little tug now.
There we go.
Come on down. Keep coming. There we go. Okay. So that's closed up. We can move that out of the way.
Okay.
Now take the pin. And you're going to push the button, and you're going to go up in the hole where the hose was.
Okay.
And that'll save that. And just make sure that you can't, if I pull on this and my hand comes loose, am I going to tug on something? Am I going to hit something? Am I going to pull something?
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. By removing the hose so that gas can't travel through the system or anything like that. Now we're going to de-arm it. And the way these mechanisms work is this is what's called a sear, this part here, okay?
Okay.
And so what would happen if the seat was going to initiate is this linkage would pull backwards, okay?
Okay.
And you see, as you pull, this sear gets bigger, right?
Okay.
So, and this is a roller here. So as that sear gets pulled out, it pulls this up, just like a gun, okay? And then when the sear pops out, this is spring-loaded, and it's up here, and boom, and it fires the charge.
Okay.
So that's how that mechanism works, and there's a number of them on the seat.
So that's some of the initial steps of de-arming and servicing an ejection seat for removing it out of the aircraft. So that was just the beginning stages of it. So right now the hangar is clear and only essential personnel are inside the hangar dealing with that and getting it safed, de-armed, and removed from the jet. So
Come on up.
That's not bad.
Come on up. Come on up. Okay. Keep coming, keep coming. Let's get it clear of the cockpit. Almost there. And set it down. Alright, good job. Alright. You come up on. Yep.
Alright, it's quite a bit of work today, but we got the beams, the guns, and the seats out of both the front and back cockpit out of the Phantom, and these have both sets have been fully de-armed, so there's no more cartridge initiators in the any more pyrotechnics. All right, so what are we looking at here on the seat rail?
This is one of the pancake charges on the catapult gun for the seat, or the tube. And so you have a main charge up in the top of the gun that'll fire, and then these fire in sequence as the tube expands, and the gases will come out of this port right here into here, which will continue the tube expanding and make sure you're clear of the tail before the actual rocket motor on the bottom of the seat fires.
Oh, awesome. All right, so here's one of our inert seats, and we use this for training and helping out new guys learn how to work with some of the seats. But here's what we got. This is otherwise a functional seat. So the pilots and the crew had to wear the leg restraints, so part of the ejection sequence was these would get their legs pulled back in for ejection. Right here you got the seat pan, and the rocket motors would be over here underneath here like you saw on the other seats. There's your survival kit that would have different things in there for survival. This is your seat separator if it didn't go automatically, or that would get the survival kit off you. Oxygen bottle, about 10 minutes worth of O2 based on the book. Seat back, there's your main parachute. And then back here, here's your drogue chute up here. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Drogue chute's up here. That's what would pull out the main. Face curtain handles. Here's your seat frame. And then the gun, or I'm sorry, the beams. And then here's the gun that would help fire the seat out. And there's cartridges. There's those pancake charges that you saw earlier. And then the main gun charge is up there on the top. But that is what a seat would look like inside the jet fully assembled. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.